ladies and gentlemen,
I think we've all been moved by your humility, your warmth, your friendliness, your down-to-earth attitude, and we can immediately...
Can you speak a little louder? I want my son to get it. Are you able to hear, Ishan? Otherwise, you come forward. And remember also.
So,
Sure.
when did you know you wanted to act? The second is, which role is most memorable for you and why? Thank you.
I tell you. That why did I choose this profession? I said, my personality is not so that they will say, oh my God, this is Marlon Brando of Punjab. So I had no illusions about that. I said, I must look for some job to survive in the city. Fortunately, I got a teaching job and teaching acting. I taught Anil Kapoor, who know it, but all the people who see in the films, and Gulshan Garover, Mazhar Khan, Madan Jain. So the 3-4 people were in the same batch. Anyway, so I used to get about 800 rupees that time, which was good enough for me. And me and Nasiruddin Shah were in the same boat. The only thing is, Nasiruddin Shah's father was an IAS officer, and he studied in an English medium school, and I went to what we call in Punjab Tappad school. Tappad matlab you had to take a little mat from home, वो बिछा के उसके ऊपर बैठे. So it was government school. So it took 5 years for me to get a good role, which Akrosh, which is again a brilliant film. It is a milestone, and it was successful. But I was playing a role of a tribal. Dark, I sat in the sun to get tan, and I was thin, so there was no problem of losing weight. But since I didn't speak in the film, except one scene where he fires his wife, etc. Otherwise, in the court, because he's implicated into, you haven't seen the film, but he's implicated wrongly in a case of murdering his wife. And why he doesn't speak is that he has no faith that the city people will ever, or big people will ever be concerned about us. The cinema, which is a very powerful medium of communication. If there is a song, either it is part of a theme, or it is making a comment on the character's emotion. But today it has nothing to do with it. Item song. And the love songs were like romance. Today it is not a romance. It is there's no foreplay. Just grab. You know, I'm sorry, but I didn't have any better sentence to say. So I am not saying all films should be tragedies, all films should be serious. Even Shakespeare, he also wrote comedies. You know. So, but along with that, just to use cinema purely as an entertainment, I think it is wasting a valuable vehicle of to participate in a social change or growth or making people aware, creating compassion for each other, creating sense of responsibility towards your society, etc. It is being used purely as an entertainment. Occasionally you have, a couple of films, but we make so many films. But most of the films, the target is the money, unfortunately. And lot of youngsters, we have something in the film festival called Indian Panorama. Once the chief secretary from the government of India, from INB Ministry, Information and Broadcasting was there, I was supposed to open the Indian Panorama. He spoke, then I spoke. He was well aware of cinema. And he was feeling very proud that this year we had 121 films which entered in the Indian Panorama. Now, Indian Panorama is films which are meaningful, which is a showcase to the foreign delegates so that they can pick up for their television or whatever. Then came and they said we chose 19 films out of that 121. Then my turn came. I said, sir, I'm very happy that you know about cinema, you are aware about cinema, but I don't know how long will you be in this ministry. Because every 3 months somebody's thrown there, etc. So I said, okay, 19 films you have patronized. What happens to the other, 100 something? What happens to those films? I said, these boys who make these films, they go to the core and they have something to suggest to us. I said, government of India, all the politicians must have a bloody film festival. They can show you a way because they are all qualified people, they study, they go to the roots. And look at Iranian cinema, for example. It's a small country. Today it has a name in the world cinema. And now I told the Pakistani people, I said, listen, you make films in the same language which we speak. So why don't you release your films in India so that you get much bigger audience and you can make films with a much bigger canvas. This is the problem is that we need too much money for publicity for India. Now, which is again by these big production houses. See what they do, every time you make a film, there is a sense of insecurity. You never know. Even with stars, films have failed. So what they have found, that since they are established stars, people adore them, people love them, and it is expensive film, so they book 5,000 theatres or 8,000 theatres all over India. Okay? In the beginning, of course, they will come. They may go home and tell the neighbor, "Arey bakwas, not worth seeing." But before that, so many people have seen. So in first 1 week, if people have gone, they have recovered their money and plus profit. And if it goes beyond that, then which means that's a lottery. Which small films can't do. They can't bombard the audience with publicity.
You're talking about Pakistan.
Right.
How important was it for you to play as a British Pakistani in East is East and West is West?
And some of the other films also. You see, cinema doesn't belong to a community or a country, I feel. For that matter, all artists all over the world, they belong to humanity. Truly speaking. Whether it is somebody who plays a violin or a tabla or a singer, they belong to the humanity.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm proud of you, by the way.
I